Works and Engineering Department to unilaterally and solely transact our real estate transactions. Now, currently, it takes a 2/3 vote of the Houston City Council to sell, swap, or dispose of City of Houston realty. There's a reason for that, because this is a precious asset held by the City of Houston. It's a plea to the citizens out there to call the mayor, call the council members, and let them know that you speak only through us. We speak for you. And this particular issue of easement is city-owned assets that we should be really concerned about how we dispose of, or how we permit this asset to be disposed of. The asset that I'm talking about, as represented in the way of an easement, it could be 3 feet of land, or it could be acres of land as an easement. But it simply doesn't matter, because council can only act through ordinances, motions, or resolutions. But the charter trumps, supersedes any action that's taken via ordinance, motion, or resolution. So therefore, the amendment offered today to modify item 51 on the agenda, the amendment would instruct the mayor via an ordinance to put something on the agenda. That is in conflict with the City of Houston Charter instructing the mayor to do that. And as the mayor said it herself, when there's a conflict, the charter controls. The charter gives the mayor unilaterally and exclusive authority to determine what goes on the agenda. City Council cannot instruct the mayor via an ordinance to disregard or override or trump what the charter has prescribed in the way of authority. So what I want the citizens to do out there, to be on notice. Bradford is going to do everything he can to preserve this council's right to have say-so, review, and approval of 3 feet of land or several acres of land. I think each and every land transaction of any size should come to this council for approval each and every time. I think for this council to take a vote to allow any director to unilaterally transact real estate deals that involves the precious asset held by the city is wrong. And certainly to the extent that this council will take an action to bind other councils in the future from being involved. Because once this council takes this action, it's done, and it only gets back on the agenda for council to act on it if the future mayor decides he or she wants to place it on the agenda. You don't get to act on it. Again, real estate is something that I believe is right next to life in this great country, this great state of Texas, wonderful state of Houston. Life is precious. To Bradford, right next to life is property. Whether that's my property, your property, or the City of Houston property. We are elected officials. One obligation we have is to take care and hold with trust the city's assets. And I can't think of one more precious than the city's realty. Again, I've heard the argument that it's just easement. That's true. It's just easement. But when I went to University of Houston Law School, you know, I was taught that easement is realty, is property, and you don't separate those two out. That's what it is. So I would ask the citizens out there to let the mayor know, let the council members know that you really want council members involved in whether it is 3 feet of property or several acres. You want council involved in it in every transaction where we're going to swap, sell, or dispose of any piece of Houston's property. Because you know what? Next week it could be that neighborhood behind your house where you have that easement, where you go out and you walk your dogs, or it's your green space for your neighborhood. You could wake up one day and learn that that land has been swapped by our city director, that council had no involvement in. It's one thing for something to be put in writing and say the director will notify council or brief council, but council can't act because we're notified by a director. Council can only act if it's placed on the agenda. And again, the charter trumps any proposed ordinance for offer today. I'll say this and I stand down. I didn't hear anybody refute my position when I said that members of the bar would not refute me when I said that the charter is a controlling document, and ordinance, motion, or resolution, they do not and cannot trump the charter. The charter is a controlling document. Thank you.